I said guaranteed, and that's really provided you take care of one really important thing. In many recent cases where companies have tried to introduce self-governing, self-management, they fail to take care of this one important thing. And the result has been casualties, failure of the attempt to introduce what's actually a really, really good way of running a company, and many other things, leading many to come to the conclusion that whilst holacracy says you only do what's safe enough to try, some people have said holacracy itself is not safe enough to try. That's not actually true. That isn't a problem of holacracy. The thing is, if somebody is coming from a typical management hierarchy, a big part of their idea of who they are comes from their job and from their job title. An experiment I love to do is to ask people, what do you do? And invariably the answer comes back, I am the CEO, an engineer, a researcher, a secretary. You can see in that I ask about their activity and they reply with their self-identity. You see it so often when people retire, when they get fired, when the company collapses, or any other change comes in. There's a huge amount of resistance to the change, or a period of not knowing what to do, not quite knowing who I am. How can I work in this new company? How can I retire? I am a CEO. I am my work. And if I no longer have my work, who am I? And people first need to answer that question before they can engage in the change that's coming in at an activity level. This is why, if you are planning to introduce holacracy, sociocracy, or any other self-governing or self-management tool, start, if only 1 or 2 weeks before you start bringing in holacracy, with an evolutesix peer-to-peer developmental process. Because the heart of what we're doing is helping people recognize what is it in them that is resisting the change that's coming in, and how that is deeply connected to their self-identity. Most importantly, these deliberately developmental processes that we bring in give everybody in the organization the power, with each other in a peer-to-peer basis, to rewrite each other's, to help each other rewrite their own concept of who they are. So that by the time you've gone through the whole process of creating the new organization's way of working, you've fully introduced, you've fully deployed the sociocratic or holacratic concept of working in circles. You've eliminated job descriptions, you've eliminated titles. Each person has multiple roles and accountabilities, and you've made a clear separation between their role and their identity. You've done it by working simultaneously on both of these. You've brought in clarity of roles and accountabilities with holacracy, and you've enabled them to craft new identities with each other in a collaborative peer-to-peer process. And by doing the two simultaneously, equally well, equally strongly, that is going to, at least almost, barring all of the other things that can go wrong anyway in business, almost going to guarantee you a massive increase in productivity, a massive increase in employee engagement. And if you're the CEO, the investor, or the leader of the company, this is going to guarantee you far, far fewer fires that you need to put out, and is going to increase by a factor of at least 2, typically 5, the amount of time you have at your disposal to work on the really critical questions, the things that only you can do, that only your experience and your foresight and vision are right for you to do.